I mean, body comes and goes, रहने दो. Sensations come.
Guru Ma, there is no sound. You're muted.
Now you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, because by mistake I put it off. Okay. So your job now is to ascertain that you are always there. Sensations come and go, but you are always there. Possible? So you are there illumining the coming and going of the sensations in the body. Sounds okay? Ascertain for yourself. हाँ मैं तो हूँ और sensations आ रही है और जा रही हूँ. I am here. I am very much present here. So these sensations are all objects of my knowledge. I am always there. They change, they come and go. Okay? Okay. Now let's move to breath. You're observing your breath without judgment. Just an observer watching the breath. There's breathing going on. I know the breath. The breathing keeps changing. Sometimes it's inhale, sometimes it's exhale. Right? कभी inhale, कभी exhale, कभी inhale, कभी exhale, कभी लंबा, कभी छोटा, कभी. It can be short breath, it can be long breath. You can manipulate the breath. So the breathing is different. So definitely I can say I know the breath. So breath is also object of my knowledge. Correct? Breath is also object of my knowledge. Okay. So the breath keeps changing, but I am there. Same. The same me is there even as the breath keeps changing. In my presence, the change in the breath is observed. And what Shastra wants to say is I am different from my breath. Okay, so at least a certain I am there, I'm always there. In my presence, the change in the breath is illumined and it is known. I am always there. And what you are to ascertain is also that I am different from the breath. Because I am always there, the breath is coming and going. I am a conscious presence who is always present, in whose presence the breath is coming and going. See, it's so much of self-ascertainment, at each level we ascertain for ourselves. Okay. Now there are feelings. इस तरह की जब वेदांत की ये हो रही है, कभी कभी डर भी आ जाती है. They can be any feeling, they can be anxiety or just any feeling is there. Some feelings are there. So we just observe the feelings. This is called Vedantic meditation, a type of meditation. So just observing the feelings. And feelings are very interesting because they can be felt as sensations in the body. जब गुस्सा आता है तो you will find कि मेरी breathing has become fast, my face is becoming red, my stomach is feeling tight. So feelings will generate sensations in the body, and we can become sensitive to that also. Yeah, it is generating some sensation in the body. So feelings, they keep changing. I am there. Okay? So look at that. It is object of my knowledge. It is energy in nature. Energy in motion is feeling, emotion. And the feelings have got attributes. You can give them name. You can call it, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling loving, I'm feeling happy. उसको नाम भी दे सकते, तो एट्रीब्यूट्स भी है और वो चेंज करते रहते हैं, माने वो टेम्पररी है इति. सो ऑल दिस विच इज कॉल्ड ओमैक, सब ओमैक के इसमें जाते हैं. ठीक है. बट आई एम ऑलवेज देयर, in whose presence the feelings are known. वेदांत हमें बताती है, I am different from what I know. Feelings will come and feelings will go. Yesterday I was anxious, today I'm not. Yesterday I was loving with my spouse, today I'm angry. So feelings come and go. Iti. So feelings are also known to me, I'm different from them. Each one, at each level, we ascertain for ourselves that these are known to me, I am different from them. These are known to me, I am present, always present. If I was not present, they would not be known to me. All this is to be ascertained. Okay? I'm always there. Now just imagine thoughts. Supposing there are thoughts. Thoughts are there. We observe the thoughts without judgment. Thoughts, many types of thoughts we have. There can be planning thought, analyzing thought, deciding thought, doubting thought. All types of thoughts are there. They're all known to me. Correct? Different thoughts. They are known to me who is present. I'm always there. I, self-evident consciousness, am present. In my presence, these thoughts are illumined. I am the Prakashaka. Thoughts are Prakashya. I am the Prakashaka. Feelings are Prakashya. I am the Prakashaka. Breath is Prakashya. I am the Prakashaka. Sensations are Prakashya. Body is Prakashya. World is Prakashya. That which is illumined in my presence. Iti. I am there. I'm always there. Again with memories. Memories are coming. You can observe the memories without judgment. You can give labels also. ये childhood memories थे. यो उसके बारे में था. My friend, whom I missed long ago. वो तो चला गया. I'm remembering him or her. Iti. Memories are also known to me. At each level, ascertain to yourself, they are different from me. Memories come and go. I am always there. Can you see what Shastra, how beautiful Shastra is, pointing out, I am always there. The consciousness that I am is always there. And in its presence, many different things are illumined. Okay? Then the ego, the I identity, the identification, the one who is identified with the body mind is there. Observe without judgment. Sometimes it is karta, sometimes it is bhokta. Sometimes it says, I am the one who did this. कोई दुख होगा तो say, I experienced it. इति. Okay, so sometimes karta, sometimes bhokta, sometimes pramata, the one who knows. So the different statuses that ego identity takes on, changes its form, assumes different status, iti. In whose presence? In the presence of consciousness that I am. I am always there. The status I assume can come and go, but I am there, iti. So I am always there. And I am not the known. I am the one in whose presence everything is known. This should be ascertained for oneself. Okay, teacher can only give you teacher can only give you upadesha, can only tell you this is so. But that ascertaining buddhi has to be yours. That yes, this is true. ये सच है. हाँ, ये हकीकत है, ये सच है. इति. So, I am always there. I am not known. I am self-revealing consciousness. This is called viveka. Atma anatma viveka. This is the first step. And this kind of viveka is to be done daily. Iti. That is called sadhana, Vedanta sadhana. Until it becomes crystal clear to me. Okay? It has to become very, very clear to me. What? That I am self-revealing consciousness that is ever present and that is different from all that I know. If you're able to do this observing, it will happen. We just have to give the time to it. And along with, this is called Anukula logic. This is the logic which is in keeping with Shastra. So you just have to use this and do it. That's the practice. It's a discipline, a practice. Iti. So this first step of Vedanta sadhana, where you ascertain for yourself that I am self-revealing consciousness, I am always there as an illumining presence, and I'm different from everything that I know. Okay, I'm changelessly present. This is established through our understanding and it is deepened through the practice. Like right now, you may have understood. And it gets deepened with your practice of this viveka. Just few minutes you need to give to it, daily. The more you give to it, the better it is. But you can give a few minutes to it daily. Of being just an impartial observer, observing the world, observing the body-mind, seeing for yourself that you are indeed different from what you observe. You are there in every experience. You are self-evident, self-revealing consciousness. Only after this is established, this is ascertained for yourself, then any further study of Shastra which says that the world is adhyasa, that points out that the waking world is adhyasa, will make real sense. It will, otherwise it's all just lip service, कि हाँ, कुछ बोल रहे हैं, Okay. Now we continue with our summary. Okay, I just wanted to make that more this thing. I wanted you all to know what it takes, that this kind of viveka is necessary. This is sadhana and this sadhana is required. Okay. And you can ask me, do we have enough knowledge for that? Yes, you have enough knowledge for that. This any 2-year-old can do. Okay. Not 2-year-old. Okay, 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old. सबको हम ये करा सकते हैं. That, okay, I am always there. These things are changing. And in my presence, all this is known. Iti. So we were looking at this, that we were looking at adhyasa, and there's this multiplicity and diversity which you are experiencing. How does it take place? Iti. So शास्त्र आके बताती है कि नहीं नहीं, ये जो है क्यों है, क्योंकि कॉन्शियसनेस की एक शक्ति है, उसकी नाम है माया, एंड वो आके उसकी शी इज गॉट अ क्रिएटिव पावर कॉल्ड विक्षेप शक्ति, and this vikshepa shakti of maya is responsible for the projection of the universe. So the seed for maya's creative power to unfold the universe as it is, in whatever form it is, okay, जिसमें कश्मीर की genocide भी हुई है, इति, in whatever form it is, that is the collective karma of all the jivas. That's how Vedanta presents. It's a collective karma. Hey, when did this karma start? There's no question of when did it start. It's cyclic, anadi. Iti. So the collective karma of this thing starts off this Maya Shakti after Pralaya. It will, the Vikshepa Shakti will unfold, will get triggered, and the world is manifested. So this collective karma is a very interesting concept, you know. तो जब हम लोग प्रेयर्स करते हैं, समझो हम प्रेयर्स फॉर वर्ल्ड पीस करें, तो व्हाट विल हैपन टू दोस प्रेयर्स? इज इट दैट नो, देयर विल बी नो effect of my prayer for world peace? Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. No, it goes into the collective karma. We are putting those sattvic thoughts into that collective space. Hiranyagarbha mein all these thoughts will gather, and in some form or the other it will contribute towards the goodness of the world. So our prayers always contribute towards the goodness of the world. कश्मीर की जेनोसाइड कैसी हुई, हमें क्या पता है पहले इन लोग के जन्मों में क्या क्या था? We don't know who was the perpetuator, who was the victim. This is a cycle. Maybe the victim becomes the perpetuator becomes the victim. ये कब खत्म होगी? When we say enough, बहुत हो गया. I don't want to be perpetuator, I don't want to be victim, बहुत हो गया. Iti. Okay, anyway, coming back now. So every projection we saw must have an adhishtanam. Adhishtanam means a locus, a substratum. Correct? जैसे my favorite example is movie and movie screen, because I think उस जमाने में they didn't have this movie screen business. हमारे लिए तो बहुत अच्छी है, इतनी अच्छी एग्जाम्पल हो गई. मैं गई थी वो कश्मीर फाइल्स देखने के लिए. जब हम अंदर गए तो मूवी स्क्रीन एकदम ब्लैंक, मींस वो स्क्रीन तो ब्लैंक थी. When we saw the movie, इतने सारे कलर्स, कितनी दंगाबाजी हुई, लोग मर रहे थे, क्रूअल्टी इतनी हो रही थी, सब कुछ हो रहा था. When the movie ended, again blank screen. Nothing happened to the screen. और वो स्क्रीन नहीं होती तो मूवी नहीं पॉसिबल है. इति. Correct? So the movie screen is not tainted or colored. The adhishtanam does not take on the color, does not take on any quality of whatever is being superimposed on it. Okay? So in the same way, world is a projection. So nothing that happens in the world actually affects consciousness, because consciousness is satyam. The different order of reality, it is changeless. Iti. पर ये हमें नहीं पता, ये हमारी ही अपने ही ascertainment नहीं हुआ. If we don't know this, we have not been able to ascertain it for ourselves, iti, तो then naturally हम अपने आप को body mind लेंगे, and body mind is definitely affected by the world. गर्मी आती है तो बॉडी को गर्मी लगती है, ठंडी होती है तो बॉडी को ठंड लगती है. So all this goes on, right? And then we will feel we are affected, iti. So we feel that we are affected by Ishvara Srishti. Because Maya's Vikshepa Shakti creates the Ishvara Srishti. And if we don't know that we are this changeless and we have not ascertained it for ourselves, then we think that we are the body mind and we feel affected by Ishvara Srishti. Iti. So the Adhishtanam for the universe is changeless, infinite consciousness. This is very, very important concepts, that we need to assimilate. Because Shastra is telling us something so interesting that even when our mind is disturbed, oh, I'm so restless, I'm feeling so disturbed. Even when the mind is disturbed, the consciousness in whose presence that disturbance is illumined is not disturbed. Okay? And why we give examples always to help us to understand. It's like the light in this room. In this room, in one corner of the room, it could be very dirty and very untidy and gandhi, means dust could be there, which is true. On my bookcase, there's lots of dust. But is the light become dusty? Light doesn't become dusty. In the same way, here the point is, the example is whatever is illumining, okay? That which is illumining is not taking on the limitation of the illumined. Iti. So that's what Shastra is pointing out. The mind is disturbed, but consciousness is not disturbed ever, ever. Iti. It's only because of identification with the mind that we think that I am disturbed. Yeah, and we will say also I am disturbed. Especially you go for that movie Kashmir Files. Aha, you will come back and say I am disturbed. Iti. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, something, I don't know where. Yeah, I think I have gone. My one slide is gone off. It's a very nice slide. Let me just get out of this and see where that slide is. Okay. Ha. Okay. 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 So the other Shakti of Maya is the Avarana Shakti, which is its veiling power. So Vikshepa Shakti हमने देखा, उसने ईश्वर सृष्टि क्रिएट कर दी. आवरण शक्ति क्या करती है? हमसे सच छिपा देती है. We are not able to see what is the truth. ठीक है? That the consciousness that I am is actually पूर्ण and untouched. वो हमें दिखती नहीं है. माने शास्त्र यही बताती है कि पूर्णत्वम is never lost. कि सृष्टि भले जो भी हो, पर पूर्णत्वम का कुछ नहीं होता है, क्योंकि ये अध्यास है. इति. ये हमने देखा कि even when the mind is disturbed, consciousness in whose presence that disturbance is illumined is totally undisturbed. Okay. So I brought in a point here, which may be heavy, is that there are two orders of reality. Okay. Two orders of reality means one is Satya, that which is unchanging, never changes. And the other order of reality is the changing reality. And the changing reality is dependent on consciousness, and so it is mithya. Okay. So there are two orders of reality within us. One is the self-evident consciousness that we are, and the other is our mind, in which changes are taking place all the time. So consciousness that I am illumines the mind. Two orders of reality it is. And the mind depends on consciousness. It is illumined by that. Okay. So here is an interesting example. You can see that there is a lot of water here. And there is the sun, and there is the reflection of the sun in the water. Now, does the sun get dirty if the water gets dirty? Or if a stone is thrown in the water and there are ripples there in that reflection, does it affect the sun? It doesn't affect the sun. So the example is what? The water is the jiva's mind, because mind is a reflecting medium. The reflection of the sun is the jiva who takes himself to be the mind. Okay? And the sun is in the place of changeless consciousness. तो ये माइंड के अंदर कुछ भी हुआ, ठीक है, वो इसको अफेक्ट नहीं करती है. That is what Shastra wants to point out. Adhishtanam cannot affect. I'd never give up ना, इतने सारे मैं बोलती हूँ. So adhyasa is introduced to explain the presence of multiplicity. Okay. This will become clear to whom? It will become clear to the person, the student of Vedanta, who has ascertained for himself or herself that what we did earlier. And what did we do earlier? We were just impartial observer. And as an impartial observer, we were ascertaining certain facts. That I am consciousness, I am always there, I am different from my objective experience. And that it is not possible for me to know change unless I am changeless. And all the objects of experience depend on I consciousness to illuminate them. इतने सारे वस्तु अपने आप ascertain किया, ठीक है, तब ये अध्यासा will begin to make sense कि ये क्यों बोल रहे हैं कि ये अध्यास है इति. तो ये पॉइंट में फिर से बता रही थी कि कॉन्शियसनेस इज नॉन ड्यूअल. शास्त्र बताती है मीन्स हर एक में एक ही कॉन्शियसनेस है, एक ही वस्तु है, नो अदर थिंग हियर इति. कैन ओनली बी एन अध्यासा. ठीक है, ओके. So all this we have done, so I am going to be jumping over this. Why do I take myself to be limited? Because of Avarana Shakti. Okay. Okay. Again, stressing the same point. Adhishtanam is totally in an adhyasa. Adhishtanam is totally free of the adhyasa. So we have taken the example of rope snake again. Now, this fellow is walking on the road, and he sees this object and he says, this is a snake. So I've divided the sentence into two parts. One is this and the other is a snake. When I say this, later on he finds out, somebody comes and shines the torch and he finds out that it is a rope. So when I say this is a snake, this refers to the rope. Correct? Because actually it is a rope. Usme snake to hai hi nahi. So this is referring to the rope. It is the general amsha. And the rope is totally free of the snake. Snake की कोई भाग भी इसमें नहीं है. Snakes तो slimy होती है, shiny होती है, कुछ नहीं है इसमें. Okay? In the same way, consciousness है अधिष्ठान, and it is free from the changing world, free from the limitations of the body and mind. इति. ये हमने देखा था पिछले बार, so I don't want to labor the point too much, कि this thing called Anyonya Adhyasa takes place. Anyonya means mutual superimposition. जो आत्मा की सत्यता हमने बॉडी को दे दी और हमें लगा कि बॉडी रियल है, but the realness belongs to आत्मा. और जो अनात्मा में चेंजिंग है उसने हमने आत्मा को दे दी और मैंने बोला मैं चेंज हो रहा हूं, आई एम चेंजिंग. बट व्हाट इज चेंजिंग? बॉडी इज चेंजिंग, माइंड इज चेंजिंग, और मैंने बोल दी कि आत्मा कॉन्शियसनेस इज चेंजिंग इति. So there is something called mutual. It's called anyonya adhyasa. There's a mutual adhyasa taking place. Okay? Atma upon anatma and anatma upon atma. And this mistake is what Vedanta tries to correct. Vedanta wants to correct. And Vedanta's only requirement, and this is the only requirement, is freedom to some extent from raga dvesha. Not 100%, but quite a bit. Okay? Only then ये बैठती है और सच बन जाती है हमारे लिए कि ये टीचर की सच नहीं है, शास्त्र की सच नहीं है, ये मेरी सच है. इस तरह की वस्तु होने के लिए वेदांता नीड्स अ लॉट ऑफ अंतःकरण. और जब अंडरस्टैंडिंग होती है तो वेदांत की फेमस सेंटेंस है, आई एम ब्रह्मन एंड जगत इज मिथ्या. नॉलेज के बाद क्या होगा? वर्ल्ड विल स्टिल बी देयर. सब कुछ होगा. ईश्वर सृष्टि है. माया की विक्षेप शक्ति तो वैसे ही रहने वाली है, कुछ नहीं होने वाली है उसको. तो ईश्वर सृष्टि विल गो ऑन. ओके? एंड इट डज नॉट कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट the oneness of Atma, because this is the second part of the understanding. The world is not different from Atma. पहले तो हमने आत्मा अनात्मा विवेक करके बोला I am, world is different. It is different in many different ways. But the substance which is there is Atma alone, which will come out in the, probably in the next verse. तावत् सत्यम जगत भाति शुक्तिका रजतम यथा यावन्यायते ब्रह्म सर्वाधिष्ठानमद्वयम्. यावत्, as long as, ब्रह्म सर्व अधिष्ठानम अद्वयम न ज्ञायते. Sarva adhishtanam, that Brahman is the adhishtanam of the whole universe. Iti na gnayate, as long as that is not known. So long, tavat, so long. So yavat is as long, tavat so long. So long, jagat satyam bhati. The universe will appear very real. And he gives an example like Shuktika Rajatam. Very all famous, rope snake is one famous example. Shuktika Rajatam is also famous example. In rope snake, he sees a snake and gets scared, he wants to run away. Okay, that is example of Dvesha. Shuktika Rajatam is example of Raga. Because what is there is a, is a shell. And the shell is shiny. In the sunlight, it is shining and the fellow thinks it is silver. So he goes towards it. Iti. Okay, Shuktika Rajatam. So till then, what is unreal will be taken to be real. That's the idea in this verse. As long as Brahman is not recognized as the Adhishtanam of the whole universe, till then the universe will be taken to be real. Yeah, that was the speech. So Adhishtanam ki is defined in Sanskrit as Adhyasta Adhikaranam. Adhyasta, that which is superimposed. Adhikaranam, meaning the locus or the substratum. So the substratum of that which is superimposed is the meaning of Adhishtanam. Adhishtanam means the locus of that which is superimposed on it. Okay. Another definition in Sanskrit is very beautiful. Satta pradatra iti. That which lends existence, okay, to something else. That which gives it its existence is the Adhishtanam. For example, in a clay pot, if you look at the pot, the pot has got no existence of its own. Not his own, its own. The existence of the pot is totally dependent upon the clay. Na? कहीं भी वो pot को touch करो, वो तो clay ही है. The weight of the pot is the weight of the clay actually. Pot has no weight because it doesn't exist. There's only clay there. So clay is lending its existence to the pot. meaning the existence or satyatvam, the reality really belongs to the clay. So in our example, clay is the adhishtanam of the pot. Okay? Pot has got existence. Not that the pot has no existence. Pot has got some kind of an existence because pot can hold water. Correct? It can quench our thirst. That water can quench our thirst. It is held in the pot. Some kind of existence is there, but yet the pot's existence is borrowed from the clay. Because it's borrowed, meaning it's dependent, the reality of the pot has got a name in Sanskrit, and that name is mithya. Okay? That which is a dependent reality. For example, you look at this whole universe of pots over here. Many pots. And what is the adhishtanam of all of them? These are all mud pots. So many pots are there. But their adhishtanam is one alone, and that is the clay or the mud. Iti. Look at this example. So many ornaments are there. Countless. But the adhishtanam is one alone. Okay, the gold is only one, the clay is only one. Iti. In the same, so the clay has given its existence to the pot. The gold has given its existence to the ornament. In the same way, Shastra is pointing out that whole universe borrows its existence from Brahman. You can call it God. Himmat nahi hai bolna ke from me, to bol do God. Whole universe borrows its existence from Brahman, from Atma, which is the same as God. Iti. So Brahman is called as the Sarva Adhishtanam. All this is for explaining the word Sarva Adhishtanam. Additionally, Brahman was said to be Advayam, one without a second. Then, so does universe form a second to Brahman? Arre, forget universe. Before universe, we have Maya. Is Maya going to be a second to Brahman? There is Brahman and there is Maya. There are two things. No. Maya is dependent upon Brahman. It is only Brahman's Shakti. Iti. It's also a dependent reality. So universe is full of infinite variety of objects, yet all of them, their adhishtanam is one Advayam Brahman. Okay? And what that verse told us was that as long as this is not known, that the entire variety that we see here has its basis in one Advayam Brahman, as long as that is not known, so long the universe is taken to be very real. Iti. Okay, we will continue to give this reality of Brahman to the universe, and universe will appear as Satyam. And when it is looking Satyam to us, that Satyam Jagat will disturb us. Iti. Okay. When Jagat is understood as Mithya, not so real, it loses its power to disturb us. Mirage water will not tempt us when we know that it is a mirage. Iti. That's why the example of Shuktika Rajatam was given. Okay, Shuktika is the shell, Rajatam is the silver. Seashell looks very bright in the sunlight. When it is not known as a shell, you will think it is silver lying there and you will run towards it. Okay. And then we have one verse which is not there in your books. आपके रामकृष्ण मिशन book में वो है नहीं. Talking about books, you know, Gopi, I got the chanting book, okay, for you. So tomorrow when this fellow comes, I will send it to you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah. So the next verse is, this verse is not there in your books, okay? But it is there in my notes, and it may be there in Chinmaya Mission book, you know, because we all use the same thing. Upadane kila dhare Jagati Parameshware Sargasthiti Layan Yanti Budbudani Varini. So Varini. Varini is water. Budbudani Iva. Like bubbles in the water. Budbudani Iva Varini. Like bubbles in the water. Jagati Sargasthiti Layan. Okay. So this Jaganti, the worlds, many lokas are there. Different lokas, universes may be there. Whatever is there, whichever loka it is, 7 up, 7 down, whichever it may be there, whatever they are, they arise. Sargasthiti Layan Yanti, they arise, they exist and they dissolve. Like the bubbles arise, exist and dissolve in water, so too all the lokas arise, okay, exist and dissolve. And Lord, here Bhagwan is saying Parameshwari Mayi, because now it's Brahman. They all resolve in me, the Supreme Self, the Lord. So he says Parameshwari Mayi, in me, the Lord. And who am I? The Lord is saying. Lord apna pehchan de raha hai. Who am I? Upadane akhila dhari. How beautiful, eh? He says, I am the material cause. I am the material out of which the whole universe is made. Upadane akhila dhare. Support. This beautiful word, na? Akhila dhara. So, dhare, seventh case. So, who is the material cause and who is the support? Is the adhara of akhila, of everything. The one who is the adhara of everything. So in this verse, what happened? The adhishtanam, which was there in the previous verse, is called as upadana karanam here. Upadana karanam means the material cause. When you will say material cause is always changing, no, here we have another word for it. The vivarta upadana karanam. Without undergoing the change, it is the material cause. Okay? So when consciousness is looked upon as the cause, then naturally the world is looked upon as product or effect. It is the karyam. Okay? But when consciousness is looked at as the adhishtanam, then the world is called as adhyasa. So in the previous verse, we saw adhishtanam is that which gives satyatvam or reality to the universe. In this verse, the Lord, okay, consciousness Brahman is the material cause, the upadana karanam. What kind of a upadana karanam? Vivarta upadana karanam. That is, without undergoing any change, what does it do? It lends reality to the karyam, to the effect, to the universe. And naturally then, since it's lending its existence, for example, I will say, glass is, अरे आप लोग देख ही नहीं सकते हैं. So glass is, okay, glass is, okay, book is, stapler is, mobile stand is. That is the isness, the adhishtanam. It is lent. So Brahman has lent its existence, because of which we can say everything is. Each thing is because of what? It is because of this Brahman. Iti. So that is, here it's presented as the cause. Okay, that which is the material, which is of which the whole Jagat is made of. So the whole Jagat is actually consciousness. Iti. Okay. So I think that's all. So what happens now, na? In the understanding of Vedanta, there are 3 milestones. All this we are saying for what purpose? So that these 3 levels of understanding take place. Depending upon maturity, each level will take place. So the first level of understanding is what we did. Atma Anatma Viveka. That is the first step. And for that, what is required? I have to keep doing that. The Vedantic sadhana, spend few moments every day for that. Study about it. Spend time understanding it. Iti. Spend time being an observer, impartial observer, not only impartial observer, ascertaining along with it. You know, those 3 facts that I said. So this is the first step, okay, in understanding. We call it as Tvam Pada Shodhana, discovering the meaning of I, iti. The second step is where, so first step is to just separate consciousness from, you know, what it has gone and married. शादी कर दी है, बहुत बड़ी बड़ी शादी है, बॉडी के साथ, माइंड के साथ, इति. So first is to see that these two are different, iti, and know the nature of each, how they are completely different in nature from each, iti. The second step goes much further, okay. For that also Nididhyasnam Dhyanam is required, lot of study of Shastra, lot of understanding of Shastra is required. And the second step is understanding that the consciousness that I am has got no border, because I am not an object. If I think I have a border, I may say, ha, mera border is my body. Then I will tell you, okay, no problem, you know, the border is body. Is body object or not? Then you'll say, yes, body is object. Are you different? Are you the object? Are you an object? So you have to ascertain that in the first step, that I am not an object. I am the subject. Iti. So discovering for yourself that I am borderless. Okay. Inherently changeless. I'm still. I'm the field in which all experience appears and is illumined. All this is the second stage of understanding of this. Okay. And for this, one should, there has to be a lot of Nididhyasana, and before Nididhyasana, there has to be a lot of Shastra Shravanam. And the third level of understanding, not only understand, it's intimate owning up, which great Mahatmas, you know, own up. It's not conceptual, not only conceptual, it's real owning up that everything that appears in consciousness is consciousness alone. Okay, so this is the third level of spiritual understanding, or you can say spiritual growth, coming to understand this. And that's why Shastra spends so much time on making us understand the importance of Antakarana Shuddhi. That you need a mind which is relatively free of conflict, relatively content, relatively a mind which is dispassionate, which is God Viveka. And what happens is, as we listen to Shastra more and more, all of this slowly takes place. And that's why we are told, Pauna Punyena Shravanam Kuryat. Again and again, may you continue to listen to Shastra. Okay? So that in due course, over a period of time, all this takes place. It's a slow maturing. We mature into this understanding. With that, because these classes are really heavy, okay, we will conclude. We have Ganpat Rai ji in this class. Very interesting. Because I give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the password. Na koi bhi iske andar aa ja sakta hai. So Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. I will welcome questions. Okay. Whenever if you have questions, you can write to me and ask the questions, and I would answer it for you next time. Any question, it's very tough. We can't do da da di whatever is there. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om. And today we finished quite early, so it's okay. Om. We'll meet at 6:30.